remember the day I met Alex like it was yesterday. It was one of those rainy afternoons in the city, where the streets glistened under the gray sky, and I was rushing to my favorite coffee shop to escape the downpour. I bumped into him, literally spilling my latte all over his crisp white shirt. He laughed it off, those deep blue eyes sparkling with amusement, and before I knew it, we were sharing a table, talking for hours. He was charming, successful, a rising star in the tech world, or so he said. I was just starting my own little graphic design business from home, pouring my heart into every project, dreaming of making it big one day. Alex swept me off my feet with his confidence, his stories of lavish trips, and high-stakes deals. He made me feel like I was part of something exciting, something bigger than my quiet life. Our relationship blossomed quickly. We spent weekends exploring hidden gems in the city, him always picking the fanciest restaurants, insisting on paying with a wink that said he had it all under control. I loved how he took charge, how he made decisions that felt protective. But looking back, there were tiny cracks. I ignored the way he teased me about my simple tastes, or how he'd roll his eyes when I suggested a budget-friendly date. "Come on, babe," he'd say with that smirk, "live a little." I brushed it off as playful banter, convinced it was just his way of pushing me to dream bigger. Then came the trip that changed everything. We were heading to Hawaii for what he called our dream vacation. I'd saved up for months, excited about the beaches and sunsets we'd share. But when we got to the airport, Alex pulled out his boarding pass with a flourish. "First class for me," he announced, grinning like he'd won a prize. I checked mine economy. Row 32, middle seat. My heart sank a little, but I smiled through it. "It's fine," I told myself. "We can meet up after landing." As we approached the gate, he leaned in close, his voice dripping with that familiar tease. "Economy. Don't complain, this is all you can handle," he smirked, patting my shoulder like I was a child. His words stung sharp and unexpected, but I laughed it off, not wanting to ruin the moment. Little did I know, that smirk hid something far darker, a betrayal that would shatter my world. As I boarded the plane, squeezing into my cramped seat between a snoring businessman and a fidgety kid, I couldn't shake the unease. Alex was up front, probably sipping champagne, while I munched on pretzels. I tried to focus on the excitement ahead, scrolling through photos of us on my phone, happy smiles, arms wrapped around each other. But a nagging doubt crept in. Why did he book us separately? Was it really about miles, like he said? Or was there more? The flight attendant's voice over the intercom pulled me from my thoughts. But my mind wandered back to the subtle changes in him lately, the late nights at work, the secretive texts he dismissed as business. I pushed it down, telling myself I was being paranoid. But what I didn't know that day, as the plane lifted off into the clouds, was that everything was about to unravel in ways I never imagined. The flight dragged on, hours blending into a haze of turbulence and recycled air. I tried to distract myself with a movie, but my thoughts kept drifting to Alex. We'd been together for 2 years now, and I'd given so much my time, my trust, even helping him with his side projects that always seemed to need a little extra cash from my savings. He promised it was temporary, that his big break was coming. I believed him because I loved him, because his confidence made me feel secure in a world that often felt overwhelming. About halfway through, I needed to stretch my legs. I made my way toward the front, hoping to catch a glimpse of him, maybe share a quick smile through the curtain that divided us like some invisible wall. But as I approached, I heard his voice, low, intimate, laced with laughter. Peeking through a gap, my heart froze. There he was, in his plush seat, leaning close to a stunning woman with perfectly styled hair and a designer bag at her feet. She was giggling at something he said, her hand on his arm. "You always know how to make a girl feel special," she purred. And he replied, "Only the best for you, darling." First class all the way, my world tilted. I ducked back, my chest tightening like a vice. Was this real? I slipped into the bathroom, splashing water on my face, trying to steady my breathing. Memories flooded in the times he'd cancel plans last minute, claiming exhaustion. The perfume on his collar, I'd convinced myself, was from a client meeting. How could I have been so blind? Back in my seat, tears stung my eyes, but I held them back. The betrayal hit like a wave, crashing over me, leaving me breathless and broken. For the rest of the flight, I replayed every moment in my mind. How he'd mocked my economy seat, that smirk now revealing his true arrogance, his belief that I was beneath him. He'd been using me, hadn't he? Propping up his image while chasing something better. The pain twisted deep inside, a mix of anger and sorrow that made my hands tremble. I felt shattered, like the life I'd built with him was crumbling into dust. But amid the heartbreak, a spark ignited a quiet resolve. I wasn't going to let this destroy me. No more ignoring the signs, no more shrinking to fit his ego. As we landed, I gathered my things with numb fingers. Alex texted me, "Meet you at baggage claim, babe." I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering. The woman from first class, who was she? I did a quick search on my phone, pulling up his social media. There, buried in likes and comments, were hints, mutual friends tagging them in posts from work trips I'd never heard about. My stomach churned. This wasn't a one-time flirt. This was a full-blown affair. He'd betrayed me, not just with his words at the gate, but with his actions, his lies that chipped away at my trust until nothing was left. The realization fueled a shift inside me. From the depths of my pain, strength began to rise. I wiped my tears, straightened my shoulders. I wouldn't confront him in anger. I'd do it my way, smart and calculated. Until everything changed that evening at the hotel, when the pieces fell into place and I saw my path forward. At the hotel, Alex greeted me with a casual hug, acting like nothing was amiss. "Rough flight back there?" he asked, that same smirk playing on his lips. I forced a smile, my heart pounding. "Yeah, but I managed," I replied softly. We checked in, and as we headed to our room, I spotted her, the woman from the plane, lingering in the lobby, her eyes flicking toward him. He pretended not to notice, but I saw the quick glance, the subtle nod. That was my cue over dinner. I played along, laughing at his jokes, but inside, I was piecing together my plan. I'd always been the quiet one, the supporter in the shadows, but no more. Back in the room, while he showered, I accessed his phone, the passcode I'd guessed months ago from watching him. Emails, messages, photos. It was all there. Dates with her, using my money for their luxuries, even mocking me in texts. "She's clueless," he'd written. My blood boiled, but I stayed calm, forwarding evidence to myself, then deleting the traces. The next morning, as we prepared for a day at the beach, I suggested we upgrade our return flights. "Why not splurge?" I said innocently. He raised an eyebrow. "On what? Your savings." That smirk again. But I had a secret. I'd landed a huge client contract just before the trip, one that would change everything. My business was booming, and I'd kept it quiet, wanting to surprise him. Now it would be my weapon. At the airport for the return, I excused myself to fix my ticket. When I returned, I handed him his boarding pass, economy, back row. "What is this?" he snapped. "A mix-up." I looked him in the eye, my voice steady. "No, Alex, this is all you can handle." His face paled as I revealed my first-class ticket, upgraded with my own earnings. But that was just the start. As we boarded separately, I messaged his boss anonymous, of course with screenshots of him embezzling company funds for his escapades. Funds he'd bragged about borrowing. By the time we landed, chaos awaited him. Police at the gate, his affair exposed to her husband. A quick search revealed she was married to, his job in ruins. He turned to me, speechless, eyes wide with shock. "How?" he stammered. I walked away, head high, leaving him to face the consequences alone. In the end, the pain faded, replaced by a quiet peace. I learned that true strength comes from within, not from someone else's approval. Betrayal can break you, but it can also rebuild you stronger. If you're listening, remember, never let anyone dim your light. Rise above and let justice find its way.